Can't say I'm sad to be leaving Paradise. I had no idea how tense things were with the Adirans moving in.
Any wolf's death won't help matters.
You had to know that might happen. I mean, you've met Ludwig, right?
Regardless, the Steel Garrote will see this as an excuse to crack down. I get the feeling they've been looking for one.
Steel Garrote? I figured they're just more intense Adiran soldiers.
They're certainly making their presence known. Can't say they're making any friends, though.
I don't like that Ludwig woman. She gives me the vreekas.
Yeah, I've seen floggings gentler than the scolding she gave Hilgard. One's tacking when the other's jibing, if you catch my drift. Taking in the slack is one thing. They look ready to strangle each other with it.
Then it's a good thing we're getting out of the city.
Yeah. Much as Liviana misses our company, I wouldn't count on your mysterious friend reviving you a second time.
Are you listening to that friend when you go all blank-eyed from time to time? Does your special friend talk to you? I mean, I had an imaginary friend when I was little, but they never brought me back from the dead.
He means that with all due professional respect, of course.
How do you know this friend doesn't mean us any harm? Unless they have their own use for you. That's what's giving me the shakes.
We're headed to Fior Messi Verno to see if the Animancers know anything about the Dream Scourge, right? Maybe we'll learn something about your condition in the process.
Right. When it comes time to deal with Animancers, you two are on your own.
The Living Lands is an odd place, period.
But so are the Animancers.
I haven't been back in a while, but Fior is, an interesting place.
Town full of nobles, scholars, and leeches. All surviving off the work of the farmers who grow food for the whole island. Right. You know, present company excluded, and all that.
Don't take it personally. Marius only does this with people he likes.
I'd say something back at you, but I'm just not feeling it for some reason.
See what I mean? Just wait till you meet the Animancers. It turns out that academics are as ungovernable as the rest of us rabble.
They don't understand what they're messing with. They can't tame the wilds with machinery.
They've held it at bay, until recently. Their ingenuity, or madness, or heresy, take your pick, has fed a lot of people in the Living Lands. But, rumor has it, some unnatural blight is destroying their crops. We'll find out soon enough. And while we're in Emerald Stair, there's something I've been putting off. An old friend from my time in Thirdborn had a cabin out in the woods. Tama. He passed a while ago, but he left something for me that I never got around to picking up. But since we'll be in Emerald, you won't regret it. Hey, they love me. You just gotta ask nicely. Compliment their foliage.
Right. Maybe buy them a drink before they choke you to death with vines. I look forward to hearing what you think the word easy means.
You and I have quite the adventure ahead of us, Envoy. That's the spirit. What?
I have, you know, things to do back in Paradise. It keeps me plenty busy.
Come to think of it, I haven't been to Emerald Stair in a while, and the Envoy's never been. Know any good guides?
None that could help the two of you.
Yeah. Who else is going to show us which mushrooms we can eat, and which ones want to eat us?
Now that you mention it, you're gonna need my help if you're traveling through the lands with this Nimdude. You should keep an eye on that scrape on your arm. You don't want it to get infected. shit!
Would you be a dear?
Looks like she could use our help. Let's get out of here.
Don't get too comfortable. More are on the way. Oh, fantastic. People. I was about to lose my wits.
A mind's question. The dust of the Akita in her hair. She knocks. We would answer.
You wouldn't happen to have a ladder on hand, would you? To climb, of course.
You're welcome to my shoulders.
There's a godless artifact just out of reach, and I must have it. But perhaps we don't need one. You're tall, striking, and well-toned. Do they really? Huh. I wonder what other advantages godlikes come with. Maybe the three of you have experimented?
I'll try anything twice.
It's more of an animancy thing, isn't it?
Oh, you're loyal. I respect that. I have a lover myself, you know. He always carries a ladder. But, sadly, he's busy helping the Animancers in Fure, and I need this vase now. Oh, you're a tad creepy, you know that? I like it. I'm happy to tell you about the Animancers. Fetch me the artifact, and we can chat. The vase sits atop that tower beside us, in the ruins there. And once you've got it, look me up. Yatsley, wizard extraordinary.
You do meet the most interesting people.
I can get you 1,000 faces that don't require going into some ancient ruins, but no one listens to me.
I was just getting warmed up.
Andra's titties, you found it! I tried using magic to get the vase down, but alas. Thankfully, you and your little friends came along and saved the day.
Excuse me, We're all bigger than you are, Nimdude.
I may be small, but my magic is not, I assure you. Oh, trust me, my love Quilichi has told me so many times, but I cannot resist. How could I ignore a vase like this? Think of all the secrets and memories it holds. Just one, and I didn't find it. But that's a story for another time. But I'd best pack up. I want to get home. I have a new artifact to study. Thank you for your help, Godlike, even if you didn't have a ladder.
That's something I hope never happens again.
I've got a few inches to spare if she changes her mind.
Nice job, everyone. I've never seen Emerald stare like this. It's usually so nice.
As
You
if
told
people
us
weren't
that
hungry
animals
enough.
will save our crops, and now look, spoiled on the vine. The apes won't even touch them.
Animancy is a process. We're talking about a delicate metaphysical ecosystem.
Machines everywhere. None of them are doing a lick of good.
What do you mean that's all you got? Last week you said there would be grain.
I know what I said, but the only godlike.
You're the first godlike to come through. Some of us just like to know there's order to be found in all the... If the gods don't... Really? You know the gods don't exactly favor animancy. Some say the old gods aren't here. Or maybe they just don't care for the living lands. If you need an animancer, you'll have to clear it with the... Let me...
Gods, what do I tell Sovia? I don't know. Are you? I don't judge on first.
the Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfair of the Steel Garut. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valiant. While they theorize and do nothing, the sickness spreads. We all have our part to play, envoy. And
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Gentlemen, healing priest. Cure us to all of Eora.
Jata, what's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now.
Come on. My invention is guaranteed.
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? In that case, you're right on time.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Seems more likely you'll have to punch some sense into him.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Ah, of course. The Adiran envoy. Ambassador Hilgard sent a missive telling me to expect you. How delightful. You speak with a measure of authority, but I caution you to remember who's in charge around here.
Now that's what I call a first impression. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Indeed. We were fighting the Dream Scourge before it even had a name. I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Must be nice that all the arguing isn't about you, for once.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. If I don't have your trust, I am determined to earn it. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast. Perhaps, but I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Messiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bed.
Another time, Envoy.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giatta,
But our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. Because they're cowards. To them, I'm just a cautionary tale. A fallen animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. So am I. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want. On my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. In a way, I do. I have plans for this island, and...
Your parents...
Anyway, listen, I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. We haven't even gotten started and we're already talking about ethics. I can tell I'm going to like you. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Sorry. I only bring it up because animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... No, sorry. I don't know what came over me. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave Fior Messiverno. Forever. Of course. You're right. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Don't worry. Ignacy can't banish us all. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossel is an authority on the undead. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fior. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll I'd rather not speculate until we have more.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial
Get thrown
envoy,
out of the pub.
research assistant.
We're already
knew?
wrong. Really? Huh. When did that happen?
Founded machine. Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our... more than most, but less than I would like. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Oh, I can, but it's a matter of getting all the necessary parts. What I need is a stronger power source. Copper allows greater power modulation through shaping, but Adra has the potential to store more essence. I could use a large single block of Adra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. Indeed, but that well is almost dry. I need more. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss. You may be... So, you can understand why none of us went... Still, Delumgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful.
Well, let's go. That Atragon's heart isn't gonna yank itself out.
You ever think, what if I wasn't?
Yeah, I pretty much brought that playground down by myself.
Did you now?
Glad that's...
The great mystery is, are godlike blessed or cursed? The gods are silent on this question.
Remy, look what I found. A genuine godlike.
Do you think they can hear us?
Let's find out. Hello, me, Yvette. You friend? Remy, take a note. Godlike's vacant gaze betrays an unquenchable thirst for violence. We heard that Giada partnered up with an outsider, but I had no idea you were a godlike. Fascinating.
Gossip is an important part of scholarly research. It's the only way to stay ahead of the competition.
Giada must have sent you to be our test subject. She knows how we adore your kind. Satisfy our curiosity and we'll give you everything Giada needs to finish her research. Deal?
Let's begin the examination. If you could choose, who or what would you be in your next life? Next time you go around the wheel, you might not get so lucky. Forget what I think. Let's keep the focus on you. I have what I need. You take it from here, Yvette.
My turn. Some would call you blessed. Others would call you cursed. The fact remains, you were touched by the gods. Wouldn't you say that you owe something to the rest of us? It's a simple question. You have a fragment of a god inside of you. All we have are silent, unsympathetic gods, and a lifetime of unanswered prayers. Insightful answer, but not helpful.
Oh, I thought of another. We all know that godlike can't reproduce. How do you plan on leaving a legacy after you're gone? Well, there's no reason to be rude. I think that covers everything. Thank you for that brilliant insight, godlike. You're a credit to your dwindling kind.
So, Giata wants to know all about the Dream Scourge, yes? Such has been her research of late. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
There's no cure for the Dream Scourge, much in the way that there's no cure for an avalanche.
Giata will be interested to learn that the Dream Scourge cannot just be studied in a lab. Its nature is wild, so it has to be studied in the wild. Our machines and experiments would meddle with it too much.
And like anything affecting the soul, it must be connected to essence. Thus, if she wishes to discover more about the Dream Scourge, a Pillar of Adra would be a good place to start.
Now that we've researched the mind of a godlike, the next step is anatomy. But we've taken enough of your time. Farewell. Did you hear
Hurry, before they change their minds.
into exile?
Ugh, I might have dozed off there for a bit. Were any of those words the ones we needed? Huh.
Those are no ordinary warm hands.
A godlike. I'd offer to shake your hand, but I've been elbow deep in Beatrice all day. Oh, don't you worry. She's been dead a while. As you can see, this is my reanimated corpse farm.
We can smell it, too.
I'm trying to demonstrate the value of undead labor. But of course, nothing is ever that simple. They get 3 meals a day and a comfortable home. What more could they ask for?
I mean, miners in Solace don't have it that good.
Now, Beatrice, she's being a real... Would you be a... Just imagine you're preparing to roast a chicken. A wet, ropey, warm chicken. If Beatrice ate something that disagreed with her, the least I can do is keep it from spreading to the rest of the flock.
Make sure you wash your hands after this.
Huh. It's like cleaning a deer carcass. If it was rotting, smelled like Kai after his morning run.
I'm afraid that
So, killing a revenant then. She just couldn't come out and say that?
And this is why I don't take pets.